Hello, let's dive into history for, I think, what is my first ever timely recording of Flashback. I'm actually doing this the day of its release. So let's dig in and see what happened in history this time. 1946, an early general computer, the 30-ton ENIAC, is introduced. It's used to work on the hydrogen bomb. I was familiar with the ENIAC generally. I wouldn't have known the exact year, but there we go. To reduce traffic deaths, researchers ask shows like Cheers to add dialogue about a concept new to Americans, the designated driver. That's interesting, but given the Cheers reference here, it must clearly be well after 1946. Indeed, 1988. Dr. Karl Wunderlich writes that humans have an average temperature of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Later studies say we're a bit cooler. I assume this will be before 1946. Indeed, 1868. A poet makes the first mention of a handy new book format, the Codex. Unlike a scroll, it has flippable pages. Wide adoption takes centuries. Well, that will clearly be well before 1868. Indeed, circa 86. That's very interesting. Public auctions begin for oil rights on Osage land in Oklahoma, making the tribe among the world's richest people. Well, I just saw Martin Scorsese's new film, Killers of the Flower Moon, which is about this exact thing. It's an unbelievably harrowing and tragic story, but very well told. Anyway, we'll put that in the early 20th century. Sorry, yes, 1912. There we go. Most U.S. newspapers stop separating help wanted ads by gender. Oh, that's interesting. That would be, I'm guessing that'll be between 1946 and 1988. Yeah, 1971, 1973. Some of the first medical prescriptions, including dried apple and licorice, are written on clay tablets, I should say. Early fees are on a sliding scale. Wow, that is quite a lot of interesting things this week. I'm going to definitely put that before 86. 2000 BCE. I would have guessed it would have been well back in that time. During the Dutch Golden Age, Frans Hals paints subjects that are rare for the time, laughing, smiling people. That is an interesting thing about that period. When you see, when you see pictures of people being, sort of portraits of people being laughing and smiling, it does feel out of place in that era in a way that's sort of invigorating and appealing. Anyway, I'm going to put that before 1868. Yes, the 1620s, 17th century. All right, Mali's ruler Mansa Musa gives away gold on a trip to Mecca. It literally puts him on the map. He's drawn as a symbol of African riches. Right, okay, well, I feel as though it's... do I want to put that before or after 86? What do I think? This is embarrassing. I'm not actually sure if Mecca was named that. I was trying to guess if Mecca already had that name before its kind of, significance around Muhammad, but I don't know. I'm going to put it after. Yeah, 1324. Okay. I was thinking it would have to be after the establishment of Islam, because couldn't think why else this would make sense. But anyway, that shows my ignorance that I wasn't confident about that initially. Anyway, there we go. Managed to get them perfectly this week, despite a shaky guess at the end there. And let's see. I'm always kind of curious to look through and see which of these were less commonly placed correctly. So 80%, so 20% of people didn't place the medical prescription tablet correctly. Very well placed, the new book format, the Codex. Right, the one that I was unsure about was 62%, so not an overwhelming majority necessarily placed that correctly. 96%, more than 99% of readers placed the average temperature correctly. 85% for the Osage incident. This is interesting. I would have expected the U.S. newspapers to stop separating help wanted ads by gender, to not be overwhelmingly highly placed. It is, I guess for somebody of my generation who was born after this, it can be sort of surprising sometimes how late things like this happened, and I bet that was what tripped people up. But anyway, there we have it. And then 99% about the Cheers thing, which makes sense. So there we go. I really enjoy these. These are completely fascinating events. I'm always very intrigued to see them. Hope you enjoy it as well. And I will be back next week for the next one. Bye for now.